Hello, everybody. We're going to do a quick make sure that you're in good shape and ready to go kind of thing. You should be seeing a big screen that has the slide on it. And then the next thing you should see is up in one of the corners, you're probably going to see an active speaker. So if you will go into your bar up there, and there should be 3 or 4, there's a gallery view, there's a little for a small view. If you'll hit the biggest view of that, then whoever's speaking, which should be coming out of our office here, should be what you're seeing. What you can do then is you can move that a little bit. You can grab the corner of it, and you can make it roughly about the size of the Breaking Barriers picture that's on should be on your screen over on the left side. All of our slides that we've designed, we've kind of designed them to go to the left and leave you a big spot over there in the upper right-hand corner for the speaker. That way you'll have a pretty good opportunity to see who's speaking today. So if you'll do those things. The other thing is we do have several folks on. We are trying to make sure we get everybody muted. If 1 or 2 people are muted, that creates a problem for us. So if you do end up in a situation where you realize you're unmuted, try to mute for you, but we will probably stop things and try to make sure that we figure out who the muted person is. Also, if you do have questions that will be coming in, you can text those through the text chat for Zoom to Linda Bauer, and she will be monitoring those text chats. If we have any sort of technical problems that may be happening, or if you do have a question, we will be having questions at the end of the day. But if you do have a question or something that needs to be clarified, feel free to do that, and we'll be ready to do that momentarily when we start.
Hey everybody, welcome to Congress Readiness Day for the Eastern Region 2016. I'm Justin Cross. My current role is to serve as the Tennessee 4-H State Council President, but I've had the opportunity to serve as Speaker of the House 2 years ago, and I've been to Congress for 3 years now, and I can assure you that for all of our delegates across the Eastern Region, you are in for an amazing event. I've had the opportunity to go to several events across different states, and Tennessee 4-H Congress is still one of the ones that stands out to me as one of my all-time favorite events. You will have opportunities to do incredible things in downtown Nashville. You'll have opportunities to experience what legislation works like at the state level, meet distinguished individuals from across the state. It is truly an amazing event. And so this is the first step in that process, is getting you acquainted to what you'll be experiencing that week and preparing everyone for that. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and begin today's Eastern Region Congress Readiness Day. And first of all, we'll introduce who will be leading today's Congress Readiness Day. So to meet our agents, from Sevier County, we have Mr. Glenn Turner, and from Loudoun County, we have Miss Amy Fellholter. From Cott County, we have Miss April Parker, and from Bradley County, we have Miss Robin Ramsey. And from Hancock County, he'll be joining us via video. We have Mr. Jacob Boone, and from Blount County, we have Mr. Jim McMillan. And then also with us today, we have our Ag Program Leader right here at the Eastern Region Office, Mr. David Perrin, and our Regional Director, Miss Connie High School. And also with us at the Eastern Region Office, we have our FCS Program Leader, Miss Linda Bauer, and our 4-H Specialist, Mr. Mitch Beatty. Without further ado, we'll allow them to take over the program. Glad you all can join us tonight.
Good job. All right. Thank you very much, Justin. Camera won't move to me. I've got to move to it. So, all right. Wonder if we could get Miss Connie Haskell, our regional director, and she can make an announcement for all those 4-Hers that are out there in Eastern Region land wondering who had the winning essay for 2016. And as she is approaching, we'll get her in the camera, and then we will find out who that young person is.
Okay, we know this is one of the most exciting parts of getting prepared to go to Congress, is the opportunity for you to write that essay, and the winner is...
Congratulations.
Callie Griffith from Cumberland County, and Callie receives a paid trip to Congress, and it's sponsored by the Hale Willis Fund at the Tennessee 4-H Foundation. So we congratulate Callie on that and look forward to seeing you at Congress.
We had some other folks that we would like to offer congratulations to this year. And those of you that are out watching the screen, you can see that we have those 4-Hers that competing in citizenship and leadership. You can see the counties there. Miriam Kosha from Loudon, Leah Ransom from Johnson, citizenship level 2. Our leadership level 2 are Katie Gibson from Hancock, Mary Beth Nels from Knox, and Preston Wagner from Loudon. And our leadership level 1 is Catherine Fellholter from Loudon, Hannah Freeland from Knox, and Lindsay Hedrick from Sevier County. Congratulations to those. They'll be doing their interviews in competition when we are in Nashville. So Linda, if I could get you to slide to move me over one more screen, please. We've had our public speaking for the Eastern Region senior level back in February, in the beginning of the month, and those individuals are going with us. We have from the 9th grade, Hannah Freeland from Knox, Lindsay Hedrick from Sevier, 10th grade, Daniel Austin from Blunt, and Gabby Martin from Hamlin, and in our 11th grade speakers, Mary Beth Nels from Knox, Kaylin Paul from Monroe, and 12th grade is Condra Carter from Ray and Anna Goggins from Hamilton. Congratulations to those young folks as they prepare for their state presentations when they get to Nashville at Congress. Well, we had to go hunt hard and wide. It was a budget buster, but again, Virgil, the virtual tour guide leader, is again with us. We had an absence of him last year. He got lost in the snow, but he has come back to us again. So, Mr. Virgil, further ado, bring it right in, sir.
Oh, goodness. Can you? Oh, gee. Virgil's in the house. I'm going to take this off because it's killing me. All righty. All right. Well, I'm Virgil. And, you know, these things are a whole lot more fun when they're real, but I guess Virgil's virtual tour is now from a virtual Virgil. So it's going to be a little different. First thing, how many people have been to Congress before? Raise your hand. Okay, that's a trick question because, first of all, you can only go to Congress one time. And second of all, I can't see your hands anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So just trying to be sociable. Okay, we're going to start talking about what we're going to do at Congress with this big crazy ride that we call Congress. Okay, all right. We start out on Sunday. We start out on Sunday wherever we may be, all over East Tennessee. We come together and we get on a bus and we ride on that bus down to Middle Tennessee. And there's a couple different places that we go in Middle Tennessee. And one of those is going to be Murfreesboro. In Murfreesboro, there's a nice place that they've prepared for us called the Embassy Suites Hotel. And that's a place that Suites Hotel, Embassy Suites Hotel in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And you can see that. We got a nice little picture of it right there on the slide. We got, I mean, first class accommodations. I mean, right here is a view of the grand hallway that runs right down through there. There is the emergency exit or entrance right there. You can get it, and that's actually the real entrance to that. It looks like an emergency room, but it's not. You go right in there, and that gets you right in the hotel. So we've got first class there at the Embassy Suites, and that's where you're going to end up on Sunday. Now on Sunday night, we're going to have the pageant, and you're going to get to eat, and you're going to get your hotel room and all that kind of stuff. And that's the first time you're going to have an opportunity to meet your two program leaders, and these are the sweetest people in the world, Mr. David Perry and Linda Bauer, and they're going to be there to hold your hand and take you through those first difficult minutes of your Congress experience. And what I would suggest to you is that you be really patient with them, because if they're pushed a little bit, then they will transform into something that you probably do not want to see. And let's just leave it at that. So try to be patient with them, and things will go a whole lot better, and you may survive the trip. Okay, so then Monday morning is going to dawn bright and early, and everybody's going to get an opportunity to go to Nashville, and you're going to get on buses there at your Embassy Suites, and you're going to go to Nashville. And one of the places that you're going to go, I wish I had me an Avon ding dong, Avon calling it. Avon Williams is the name of the building, Tennessee State University, Tennessee downtown campus. Nice building, and that's where y'all will gather. And there will be a couple things will happen there, as well as some other places there in the Nashville area. But the first thing will be there, and you can see a nice overview of the Knoxville skyline. Nashville skyline. Yeah, he thinks he knows what's going on here. He doesn't know. I'm Virgil. I knew what I was doing. Okay, so I had to rent a cheap.
Wanted to see you were away.
Yeah, there you go. I had to rent this cheap balloon to get up to take pictures of this, but I've got a pretty good shot of that. Well, anyway, this view of the overview gives you a good shot of the downtown Nashville area, including the Capitol building over here on the left side. If you'll go back there a little bit there, Dave. There you go. Over here on the left side, can you move that little cursor arrow-looking thing there? It's real small. You can't see it, but if you look over at about 9 o'clock, you'll see the Capitol building. It's up on Capitol Hill. Now, if you look back down here about, say, 4 o'clock, you'll see this big building that looks sort of like a Walmart. It's not a Walmart. It is the Avon Williams campus, and that's where you'll be. You'll be starting there, and you'll be moving up as you need to when you go to the state Capitol building. So you'll be doing Know Your Government and all those kinds of things. For you senators, you'll be in the Senate chambers. For those that are in the House, you will actually be back in the Avon Williams building. For those that will be doing public speaking and leadership and citizenship, all that stuff, you'll be back in the Avon Williams. That's where you'll be. You'll be giving your speech, and you'll be doing your little interviews and all those good things. All right, after lunch, you're going to get a chance to discover what's going on around campus. So there'll be some stuff going on there. You'll have some legislative visits, which will be right near the Capitol there at Legislative Plaza. And you'll get to see your senator and your representative. And if you do, tell them I said, hey, because, Virgil knows them all down there. And then also you will finally report back to TSU at around 6:30, and you'll ride the bus back to Murfreesboro. That night, the award ceremony will take place in the hotel back at the Embassy Suites. And that's Monday. All right, so now we got Tuesday. So Tuesday, you're going to have a lot of stuff going on at the hotel. First of all, you'll have the regional breakfast. You'll have the election. And then you'll have all this stuff happen. You'll have an assembly and everything. And then you're going to get on the buses again, and you're going to go back to Knoxville, and you're going to go down to the river, and you're going to see the General Jackson. Here's a fine picture of the General Jackson. A lot of people don't realize this is the largest showboat on the Cumberland River, the General Jackson. And y'all will have an opportunity to ride on it. It is the only showboat on the Cumberland River, but it's by default, it's the biggest. All right. Anyway, that night you'll get back to the hotel, and we'll have the citizenship banquet. That's when the governor and all them folks, they give up their gavels and little hammers and all that kind of stuff, and get to a new set of governors and Speaker of the Houses and those kind of things. Then after that, there will be the inaugural ball, and that's the dance. And of course, you'll do that. That'll also happen at the hotel. Then on Wednesday morning, guess what? You'll board the buses again, and you will return home. And hopefully this will happen at 7 a.m. If this doesn't happen at 7 a.m., if you're in your room and it's like 7:05 or 7:10 or 7:15, and you're saying, why have they not come and got me? This is probably a good opportunity to say, maybe I need to go looking for them. You know, maybe I'm the one that's missed the bus. Because if it's 7 a.m. and you're not on the bus, you may not get to come back to East Tennessee. Just a little something from Uncle Virgil. Okay. With that being said, that is the end of Virgil's virtual tour. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you next year. And on behalf of all the people at Virgil Incorporated, we wish you a happy and successful Congress experience. See you now.
Go, Virgil.
Always tough to follow Virgil, but one of the best parts of Congress, is, and one of the largest, I guess, goals of 4-H, regardless of the event, is helping back and giving back to our community. In this year's service project, you're being challenged to collect items to benefit children served by Metro Parks and Recreation in Nashville. And so they have 26 neighborhood and regional community service centers, and those serve as facilities for socialization, health and wellness activities, and community engagement. So we're partnering with those organizations. You're asked to bring items to donate to their annual egg hunt for their neighborhood children. So when you help out with this service project, not only are you having an awesome opportunity at Congress, you're also having an opportunity to improve the experiences and lives for thousands of Nashville children across the area. So as Eastern Region delegates, you're requested to bring Congress stickers and small toys and prizes for the eggs. Keep in mind, these are going inside the plastic Easter eggs, so they must be small enough to fit inside. So we encourage everyone to bring several of those items to help contribute to the children of the Nashville area. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Let's go right on. Okay, I'm Glenn Turner from Sevier County. I'm going to be one of the housing agents this week, along with Amy Feldholder, and we're going to share some things related to safety and just the way we should present ourselves while we're at Congress. And Amy's going to come up and share some things about our dress code, so she'll be ready for that. Biggest thing we want you to remember is you're going to be representing yourself. You're going to be representing your family. You're going to be representing your county. And you're going to be representing the Eastern region while you're at Congress. And ultimately, you're representing that 4-H clover that you're going to have on that sweater. So wherever you are, whatever you're about, you know, remember who you're representing. We have some expectations for you. We want you to follow those expectations so we all have a good, positive experience. And we leave the Murfreesboro area, and we leave the capital and Nashville, understanding that 4-Hers are folks who use their head, use their heart, use their health to just represent themselves in a positive manner. So that's ultimate. We know you are the cream of the crop in 4-H in the Eastern region, and we know you'll follow through with those expectations. You've got a handout there related to safety at Congress, and we want you to understand that. Just hit some high points here. Certainly when you get on the bus, that 600A form that your agent will give you, that is your ticket to get on the bus on Sunday. So make sure you have that in hand, ready to give to a leader that will be collecting those on the bus. Remember, it needs a picture on it as well. It is related to your health care while you're at Congress, in case we need that. But also note, when you sign that and when your parents sign that form, you are signing that saying that you're going to meet the expectations of a code of conduct, and you will see it listed there. Make sure you understand what you're signing. Make sure you read that, because we don't want to have to, as agents and leaders that are working with you at the Congress experience, say, look, we're not following through with that. So you need to be in your rooms. You need to be quiet when it's quiet time in your rooms. You need to follow the lead of the extension personnel who will be there with you. You also need to follow the lead of our volunteer leaders who will be there with us during the Congress experience. And if they ask you to follow through on something, you simply will do that. Remember also that boys should be in the boys' rooms, girls should be in the girls' rooms, and there should be at no time where there's an issue or a problem with that. I know several years ago I had a set of cousins who went to Congress from Sevier County. We had a young lady and a young man, and they had a problem understanding that. So no matter the situation, boys in boys' rooms, girls in girls' rooms, and I know you'll take care of that. Okay? You are saying that you're going to fully participate in all the programs. That means all the meals. That means being on time at the buses. That means meeting expectations at the sessions that are there that are planned for you. The better you participate in that,
the more you're going to learn from that Congress experience. So your expectation is to be at those sessions, to be on time, and to be ready to meet the bus when that bus pulls out. So just make sure you're there. You're fully involved in being involved with that. We all have our cell phones, and there are going to be times where we're just asked to cut those things off. So make sure you follow with that. 4-Hers, you need to show respect for the property and the facilities that you're going to be using at each activity and each event. Something happens, that is ultimately your responsibility to be with that. Also, just make sure your conduct is appropriate. I think I read somewhere in the background material, if you can't do it in kindergarten, you don't need to be doing it in Congress. So that's just a good philosophy to follow. Certainly no tobacco products, no drug products, no alcohol, weapons, fireworks, any of that stuff's just not going to be tolerated at a 4-H event. So remember those things. That's on that form that you're going to sign off on. Your parents are going to sign off on that as well. And we want you to go have a full positive experience at Congress and not have to be dealing with any of those kind of issues. You know, we have a rule at camp, and the basic camp rule that we follow is that we're going to be nice. Be nice. Rule number 1 is we're going to be nice. And rule number 2 is that we're not going to forget rule number 1, are we? So if you are nice to the facilities, if you're nice on the bus, if you're nice to your fellow Congress delegates, if you're nice to your leaders and those who are there helping you have a good experience, the facilities and all that, you're going to have a great positive experience. So we just want you to know those expectations up front, and we know you're going to follow through and make that happen for a good experience. Just some general safety rules that we want to go over. You need to stay and maintain yourself in groups, especially when we're in downtown Nashville, when you're going from the Avon building to the state capitol, or we're going out to eat on Monday night. Be with your leader, be with your county groups, and stay in groups. Don't need to be interacting with other people who are not a part of the 4-H group, especially when we're in downtown. So watch the traffic. You need to yield to the traffic and yield to the signals that are with that as well. Stay with your adult leader, especially on Monday night when you have an opportunity to go out and eat downtown. Make sure you're with your group. If you are from a county and don't happen to have a group, an adult leader with you, let us know that so we can pair you up. I know some agents may already make those arrangements with joining counties to make sure you've got some folks, especially on Monday night when we have that opportunity to eat downtown. Remember, when you're at the hotel, we are not the only people there. This is a public place. Again, you're going to have that 4-H sweater on, that clover. Folks will understand who you are and who you're representing. So be cordial in the hotel. Okay, don't open your door to anyone that you don't know. Make sure you double lock your door at night and get those latches on it. You will have some leaders who will check with you in the evening and room checks and that kind of thing. Just be mindful, as we said, there are times where we need to be quiet. Certainly we need to be polite in all situations as we interact with the non-guests that are there. We don't need to be congregating in the hallway and hindering other folks, other guests that are in the hotel that are there. Make sure we are cordial to them. The hotel itself has open balconies, and sometimes we're tempted maybe to throw things off or drop things off. We don't do that. That's one of the expectations. Enough said about that. Use our inside voices when we're in the hotel as well. As again, there are other guests there and we want to be responsible to them. Elevators, when there are 500 of us there at one event, and when there are only 3 elevators, we understand sometimes we're going to have to wait on the elevator. We don't want to overload the elevator. Certainly we don't get in an elevator and just punch a bunch of buttons unless we're going to those particular locations. So make sure you understand that and you follow that responsibly. If you're on the first, second, or third floor, it may be advantageous for you to simply take the steps. Certainly that's good for our health as well, so encourage you to do that. Not being able to get on the elevator is not an excuse for being late to a session. Plan ahead so you've got plenty of time. So you're going to get to those sessions on time. You're going to get to those meals on time. You're going to be at that bus when it's ready to pull out. We don't want to be waiting for anyone. Again, just simple expectations we need to be aware of. Going to have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you at 4-H Congress when you get there on Sunday evening. And if you'll just remember and follow these expectations, we know it's going to be a good week for everybody. Now, just bring on Amy Feldholder. And Amy's going to share with us some things related to our dress code.
Good afternoon. We're real excited about going to Congress and seeing you guys down there. When you go to 4-H Congress, you are expected to dress appropriately for all of the events. We have 3 basic kinds of dress code that we have for Congress. We have official Congress dress, we have also formal attire, and then we have casual wear. And it's going to be very important that you follow the schedule that you will have in your booklets when you get to Congress as far as knowing what to wear when. Now, you have a handout in your packet that addresses this to some degree, but it's always good, I think, to see a visual. For the events that are marked as being official Congress dress, you will be wearing your sweater. Guys, notice that you will be wearing a tie. Girls, you'll be needing to wear a collared shirt underneath your sweater. You'll need to wear either a skirt or slacks. Boys, you'll need to wear dress pants with your Congress sweater. You will be wearing official Congress dress at all of the assemblies, as well as the Know Your Government session, your meals, all except for the Tuesday evening banquet, whenever you go and meet with your senators and your representatives, and if you are competing as a finalist in citizenship, leadership, or public speaking, you will be wearing your official Congress dress. Now, Tuesday night is the citizenship banquet, and it's an enjoyable time for everyone. It's kind of like the last big hurrah for Congress. We all dress up in our best dress. You'll notice, girls, you can choose whether to wear a short dress or a long dress. Your formals are fine. Also, your best Sunday dresses are also appropriate for the Congress citizenship banquet. Guys, you will need to wear a suit with a tie again whenever you are attending the banquet the last evening of 4-H Congress. Girls, you'll notice down at the bottom of the handout that you've received that it talks a little bit about your formal dresses. You need to look over the part where it talks about backless dresses and all those things and ask yourself, is what I have chosen for my formal dress appropriate for Congress? Look over that. It can give you some guidance and some direction on those kinds of things. All right, now, you do have some opportunities for casual wear when you go to Congress. Casual wear means jeans, khakis, it could be polos, t-shirts. Your bus trip, whenever you're going to Congress from East Tennessee and on the way back home, you can dress casually. Registration on Sunday afternoon is a long process, so you're going to want some comfortable shoes. You can dress casually for that. When we go on our General Jackson cruise that Virgil was telling you about, you can also dress casually for that. And then again on Tuesday night for the inaugural ball, which is after the citizenship banquet, you can be dressed casually for that. So that's the opportunities that you'll have to be dressed casually. The other times, again, you need to consult with your schedule and see if you need to be in official Congress dress, casual wear, or formal attire. Now, leaders, the adults who are at Congress will also need to think about what they're going to wear on days and assembly time when you need to be wearing official Congress dress. If the kids are expected to be dressed appropriately in official Congress dress, then we adults also need to make the same effort. I think, guys, that a tie is needed for official Congress dress. If we're asking the kids to wear a tie, we need to have a tie on also. Ladies, you can wear a nice pantsuit, you can wear a dress, wear a suit, anything like that on those days whenever we're going to the legislative session and meeting with our representatives and senators, because remember, we are also representing 4-H just like the kids are, and so we need to be dressed appropriately as well. For the semi-formal banquet, again, you know, a coat and tie, gentlemen and ladies, a nice dressy outfit or a nice dressy pantsuit is appropriate. And then for casual wear on those days whenever we're going to be going on the General Jackson and some of those things, you can dress casually. Again, if we are the adults, we need to be setting the example for the kids. So let's make sure that our casual attire would be acceptable for whatever event that we happen to be attending. Okay, so that's dress in a nutshell for Congress success, and we're looking forward to seeing you. Can't wait to meet you all in Nashville. And next will be Jacob Boone, and he's joining us from up in Hancock County. So Jacob, it's to you.
All right. How are y'all doing? Everybody can hear me? Yes,
we can hear you, Jacob, but I'm gonna mute our microphone here, so you keep going right on.
Okay. All right, so I'm talking about legislative visits and what all we are covering in that. First and foremost, you need to confirm your legislative times with your county agents. Your agents should have already scheduled these visits for you, so double check with them, and then also encourage your agents to call maybe the Thursday or Friday before Congress to make sure that those visits are still happening, and that way everyone's on the same page. No pocket nights are allowed during the visits, and you're more than likely going to be subject to getting searched. So females, ladies, be aware of what's in your backpacks, your purses, your bags, things of that nature. If you need something discreet, make sure it's wrapped up neatly, and all things such as that. You want to make sure you arrive early at your legislative visits. It's much better to be early than on time, and because you never know who might be running late. So if y'all are early, then y'all have done your part. So if you have multiple visits, make sure you scheduled accordingly and that you can arrive early and you have plenty of time. And if you have to end some of your visits early, so that way you can be early to the next visit, then make sure you can do those things. When you greet these legislators, make sure you shake their hands, you share their names, you share your name. You want to utilize good eye contact while they're speaking, because their time is important and your time is important, and we're both here, and they're giving up a part of their busy schedules to make time for y'all. So when they're speaking, don't be zoning off, looking off to the sides. Make sure that you engage in the conversation. Make sure when you're talking, that you're giving them eye contact, and when they're talking, you're giving them eye contact again. Be prepared. Go ahead and have some questions for them. Make sure you know who your legislators are and some of the bills that they may be working on, or some of the committees that they sit on. So that's something that you can ask. Don't try to poke the bear, so to speak. If it's a touchy subject, make sure that you don't want to press anything. Just make sure you want to ask questions that are appropriate. Maybe ask questions of what about your 4-H project, because they're probably going to ask you about that. So be prepared to answer those questions. Be prepared to answer questions about maybe some things you've done in the past or what you're fixing to work on. Before you leave, make sure you ask for a photograph with the legislator. And each of your legislators, if you're seeing multiple legislators. And then you want to bring a token of appreciation, because they are giving up time in their busy schedules. It can be homemade or handmade, but make sure it's something that you would be proud that they were going to have, because they may put this on their desk to show that, hey, so and so from the Eastern Region County came and they brought this to me. And so make sure it's something that they wouldn't mind showing off on their desk. Here are some sample questions. So you can share where you are a 4-H member, or if they were a 4-H member, you can ask them that, and ask them what county, maybe some of the projects that they worked on when they were in 4-H. Be aware, ask them if they're aware of some of the programs that y'all are doing currently. And you might be surprised. They may be more knowledgeable, but that's a question you can ask. You can ask about what projects are most important for youth to improve the well-being of the state. They may have a project that they did, or a project in mind that they know of that they think really develops the youth in 4-H. Another question is, what is the best way for youth to have a voice in the state and how that voice can be heard? And, again, you might be surprised by some of the answers that they give. So, and again, you need to make sure that you're prepared to answer any questions that they have. Ask some questions about what they're doing, what they're working on currently, and know about your own involvement in 4-H. And I think that may be it.
Jacob, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is April Parker. I'm the Cocke County 4-H agent. We are going to talk about the election process for 4-H Congress officers. But first, Justin Cross is going to speak about all the positions that you can apply for.
So there are three 4-H positions you can get at Congress. We have our governor, our Speaker of the House, and our Speaker of the Senate. And each one of these positions has a couple of different obligations and opportunities. Excuse me, that's a tongue twister. So governor has the opportunity to preside over the whole Congress. They get to lead most of the assemblies that take place at Congress, and they get to introduce several of our speakers, different things like that. Speaker of the House and Speaker of the Senate, they each lead their respective houses. So they'll lead the House functions when they have luncheons, and the legislative day when they're leading the Know Your Government session in the House chambers, and then same is true for Speaker of the Senate. However, it's important to know that outside of those three positions at Congress, there are also obligations at the state council level. So when you are elected to these positions as a Congress officer, you're also elected as a state council member to serve statewide. So you also get to represent 4-H at Roundup, and then there are 3 state council meetings a year. There's one in September, one in February, and one in June. And so when you're elected to these positions, you're not only elected to serve at Congress, you're also elected to serve in a state council capacity for the entire year. So that takes place from Roundup to Roundup.
Now we'll go over some of the requirements to be eligible to run. A member cannot run if they are already currently a state 4-H council member, and they cannot resign in order to run for that position. All candidates must be approved by the state office by March 17th. You must be a 4-H Honor Club member to run. Candidates must be enrolled in 9th or 10th grade as of January 1st of the current year. Whenever running for these positions, you have to have someone to nominate you, which will roll into the next.
And you also have to be there as a delegate.
And you have to be there as a delegate. So if you are there just only for public speaking or as a record book winner in leadership or citizenship, you cannot run for this position because you're not there as a delegate, you're there as a winner. Also, whenever you're a delegate, there's an election process. Starting on Sunday night, in order to run for this position, you have to be nominated by your regional caucus. So at that time, someone has to nominate you, whether it's someone from your county or from another county or a friend. They have to nominate you. You will give a little speech that night for whether you are run for Speaker of the Senate, Speaker of the House, or Governor. And then from there, the regional will vote one person for each position to run against the other 2 regions. On Tuesday morning, that's when elections, and this is kind of when the eligibility for delegates, you all as delegates have to register in order to vote. Delegates will complete a voter's registration form and receive back a voter's registration prior to Election Day. Current Congress officers serving as leaders of Congress rather than delegates will not be able to vote. Likewise, public speaking, citizenship, leadership, once again, they are not official Congress delegates, so they should not register to vote that day. Only official delegates are eligible to serve as campaign managers or to take an active part of campaigning. Only senators will vote for senators and representatives will vote for representatives, and both senators and representatives will vote for governor. For anyone that's running for a position, there are guidelines and rules. There is no campaign material allowed in the Capitol. They're not to be allowed at tables at meals. everybody that runs is allowed to have one banner that's 4 feet by 8 feet. You can have flyers, stickers, candy, and whenever you are out, I know that people like to have campaign materials, but think about packing light. And then Justin Cross will talk about some great opportunities and ideas for campaign material.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of opportunities throughout the week to be involved in campaigning. And just a few quick recommendations from my experience in the process is that a lot of people will enact kind of like a simple short catchphrase for whatever their slogan is, and they'll kind of brand that on all of these materials, flyers, stickers, and the banner. A lot of times they'll get team members from their county to help them out with the campaigning process. And so if you're interested in running, also know that you can begin campaigning basically from the moment you get on the bus until voting takes place. Just be conscientious to the setting and the time that's taking place. There's a time and a place for campaigning, and sometimes it is inappropriate, which is what April was getting at. Obviously, when you're meeting with, at the Capitol building, different things like that, those are professional settings, so be conscientious to that fact. And also, I guess the biggest tip I can give is when you're in the campaigning process, be sure to actually get to know the delegates. Don't simply go and ask them for the vote. Actually strike a conversation with them, get to know them, and just enjoy the whole process. It'll be stressful, but it's a lot of fun. And when you actually take the time to get to meet people, even if you aren't elected, at least by the time you're done, you've made connections with 4-Hers from across the state. So it's an awesome opportunity. And so if you think you're interested in running, like we've mentioned, you can only run as a delegate, and you can only be a delegate once. So if you're a delegate, this is your 1 year to run. So if you think you're interested, talk to your county agent, talk to your 4-H members in your county, and see if you can make that a reality. But we wish everyone across the Eastern region the best of luck for running in these offices. Thank you, guys.
All right, I want to talk with you about Know Your Government. This is one of the educational parts of the program that, as a delegate, you really don't want to miss. You want to learn how a bill becomes law. So we're going to move to the first slide where it says, what is your role? And by now, your agent should have told you whether you are a senator or a House of Representative member. If they've not, please converse with them before you go, because it will depend on where you will be participating in your part on the Know Your Government experience. The senators will report to the Senate floor at the Capitol. There will be agents and volunteers, and just sort of follow the crowd to the Senate floor. But one tip, when you're going to the Capitol, you will be going through security checks, much like at the airport. So you don't want to carry any knives or guns or anything like that with you. You might want to remove your coins, maybe put them in a little coin purse so that you can easily take it out of your pocket so when you go through the metal detectors. The House of Representative members, you will report to TSU for your mock session. What will you do when you get there? You will vote on, there's 3 bills. Is that correct? Okay, normally there's 4 bills, but there's 3 bills this year and a resolution. You will also get to state your views on the bills and resolutions. Even if you're not designated as a speaker, you still may have a part and speak your mind. Let me suggest that if you do the we have a worksheet that you can actually take and ask other 4-H members, and it doesn't just have to be 4-H members. It can be other students in your school, in your community. You can ask your parents. Get their take on the bills, get their take on the resolution, fill out that worksheet, and that will give you an idea of what you can also deliver when they ask, are there any pros or cons on the bills and the resolutions. All right, now if we could go to the speaking parts. The speaking parts that are available, there are chaplain, page, clerk,
the presenter of the resolution, and then the presenter of the bills and debate on the bills. That's in favor of and opposed to. And if you're wondering, how do I get a part on that? I hope that your agent either gave you a little survey or talked with you to see if you might be willing to have a part on the program. And if they did, you should know you have a part, and you will be receiving a letter, if you haven't already, informing you of your part. And in that letter, it goes into great detail on what you are to say, and there's some leeway you can add to that a little bit. Okay.
Jim,
Yes.
we'll be sending those letters out later this week. They've not been.
Okay.
Yet.
Thank you. The letters have not been sent yet, but you will be receiving one if you have a speaking part. And remember, if you do not receive one of the letters, you still can voice your opinion on the bills and on the resolution as well. Now, when you receive that letter, as it states there, look over it and make sure that you are prepared when you come to Congress. If you have any questions, be sure and contact your agents. We'll gladly work with you on any speaking part. Now, we'll be meeting to discuss the part on Sunday afternoon when we go to Congress at 4 p.m. at the hotel lobby. And then, again, come to Congress prepared to present your part. Now, here are the copy of the bills. You should have received a copy of them in your packet that Ms. Jenny Yeary sent to each of the agents. And because this is too small to read, but in a nutshell, they are no smoking with a minor in a car, hired at below minimum wage for teenagers, and drug testing student participants in extracurricular activities at school. That's just in a nutshell, but read over them. And like I said earlier, ask your other classmates, other 4-H members, your parents, get all kinds of different views on the bill so that you can make an educated speech while at Congress. And this is what our representatives, our senators and House members actually do. They might hold a town hall meeting. They might have a survey if a bill is coming up to get the consensus of their constituents. So that gives you a better feel for speaking to the bills. All right, what's the next one? Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Also in the packet that we sent to the agents, that Jenny sent out to the agents, there's a Know Your Government things to remember. Review those 8 things or 7 things. It says check on the website. You can download these bills and you can blow them up so you can actually read them. Read over the bills. Fill out your Know Your Government guide to each bill. Legislative seats for the senators will be limited, so get there early and so you can sit in the actual seat of your senator. Have a picture or 2 made because they will become memorabilia. Remember at the state capitol that you'll be going through a safety check, and a security check. And let's see, what else? I think that's it. Go and be prepared, and like my fellow agents before me, it's going to be a great experience. And if you go with the attitude that you're going to have a good time, you are going to have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Hi, I'm Robin Ramsey from Bradley County, and this will be my first time to go to Congress. So if y'all have some serious questions, don't ask me. Just say it, okay? But one of the things I do know a little bit about is etiquette and table manners. Now, a lot of the etiquette, you have 2 sheets in your handout. One of them is Etiquette at Tennessee Congress. The other one is Table Manners, and it should have some diagrams on the back of that one. Most of the things have already been gone over today. on etiquette, public etiquette. I think the main thing is remembering who you are and what you're doing. You are a representative of your county and Tennessee 4-H. So if you kind of look at it that way, we're not there just for fun, which we will have fun, as I understand, but we're there to represent our state and represent our county. So just keep that in the back of your mind. When you're in the hotel, we've got public etiquette. Remember that you are inside a public building, and you remember how they did in kindergarten, you know, no running in the halls, that kind of thing. You know that kind of stuff. Also, another thing that I have always been impressed with when I go with 4-H students are the remarks we get from hotel staff, from bus boys, waiters, different things. We always get the highest remarks from our students because they say they're so polite and kind. And, you know, let's keep that up. Be an example, and be sure to say thank you and please excuse me to your hotel staff and the waiters, and be courteous. Keep your rooms clean and neat as you can, so that you can help the staff out there. We've already gone over elevator etiquette. One of the things that you might want to remember is when the doors open on your elevator, ask which direction they're going, up or down. I have been known to do this myself, get on the elevator and go into the first floor, and it's the up button, and I go to the 10th floor, and then I have to go back down. That's just wasting somebody else's space on that elevator. So make sure and ask. And as it was said before, if you're on the lower floors, go ahead and use the stairs. Then we've got the navigating streets in Nashville. Try to be early for everything. That will save you and your leader a lot of problems. That way you won't have to hurry and try to get on the elevator at the last minute with everybody else. Walking on the sidewalks, and also when you're ready to cross a street, make sure and use the crosswalks, okay? Because there's a lot of traffic. And if you're like me, you're not familiar with the Nashville traffic. So make sure you cross in those designated areas. And of course, always stay in a group. Your conversation etiquette. We've given you a lot of topics to think about already today. But when you're talking with your legislators and different people like that, remember they're people too, so don't get too uptight and stressed about it. Just relax. Try to think about some questions you would like to ask them. Use good manners. Try not to discuss inappropriate topics. Respect the conversation, not interrupt other people. And be sure to thank them for their time, because they are taking time out of their busy day. Also, be courteous to the legislature staff. They're there to help you, and a lot of times they don't get any thanks and acknowledgement, but if you get a chance to, just say thank you. I appreciate the time you put in to help us. And of course, we've already gone over the dress etiquette. Girls, be sure you're adequately covered, and guys will wear suits. And again, if you weren't allowed to do it in kindergarten, don't do it in Congress. Then you have this whole sheet of table manners. Oh my goodness. Sit correctly, maintain good posture, keep hands on your lap, don't place your elbows on the table. Whew. Napkins, there's rules for napkins, there's rules for where you put your napkin when you leave the table. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here. Good look at all that, okay? Now, don't expect you to remember all that stuff. But if you're in doubt, kind of take your time, sit back a little bit and look around you. A lot of times there will be an adult or another leader there that kind of knows a little bit about what they're doing. Just wait and kind of take their lead. One thing to remember when you get to a table at a dinner, to wait until everyone is seated at your table before you begin eating. Always pass to the right, which most people will kind of figure that one out. The other things on here, I think most of you will know all these, but just kind of look over them. Let's see. The main thing to remember is it's, first impressions mean a lot. Try to use your best manners. And sometimes you can just think of common sense. Use your common sense when it comes to this. Now, the other thing about it is all that silverware. On the back of your table manners sheet, there's a diagram of all that silverware. I'd like for you to just kind of look over that. And leaders and agents, you might want to take a look over that too, because I've noticed at some of the dinners that I've been to lately, there is not a spot on that table for your cell phone. Not above the napkin, not by the tea glass. So where do you think that cell phone should be? In your pocket, in your purse, turned off or put on silent. And that's, to me, a really big sign of courtesy and respect, is you're here to have this dinner, to converse with the people at your table, and the cell phone can wait. So make sure that that is put away. The other thing is all those forks. My goodness, I don't know, in my house we don't have all that stuff, We get a fork, a lot of times it's a plastic fork, but they've got all kinds of forks and spoons down here. Don't be intimidated by that. Just look around, see how others are behaving if you have a question. But if you just remember to start on the outsides and work your way in, they put all that stuff there in order, believe it or not. So if you start on the outside and work your way in, you got it made. When in doubt, you don't know what to use, whether a fork or a knife or a what, use a fork. That's always the best thing to use, even over a knife. If you have something that you can cut with a fork, cut it with a fork, okay? When you get ready to use your silverware, be sure and not put it back on the table after you've taken a bite, after you've used it, but to put it on your plate. I didn't know that. That's something I needed to know. And if you have to leave the table for some reason, put your napkin across your chair, and that will let your waiter know that you're going to be coming back. And then when you're finished with your meal, you can put it on your plate. But you got all this stuff here. Just don't stress out, okay? Just try to relax, enjoy yourself, but use your very best manners. And, we won't all remember everything. But if we're polite and we make our very best effort, I think that we will all just do famously. And I think that's about all we need to talk about manners.
Hi, I'm Connie High School again. I'm going to talk about transportation to Congress and a little bit about donors, but our winners, those names that were read off earlier, those of you who are going to be competing at Congress, will go down on Saturday, March the 19th. It's necessary for you to be there at 1 p.m. You will be participating in a pageant that you'll be rehearsing for that day. There's transportation being provided for you via vans, and we are meeting here at the Eastern Region office at 9:30 on Saturday morning to ride down in those vans. So you need to communicate with your agent, and your agent needs to communicate with us if there's a difference in what we're telling you to do and what is actually going to happen. I know a couple of you are members of the troop and will be going down earlier. The bus schedules for all the others have been sent to the county, so the agents know where and when you as the delegate will need to be so that you can get on the bus. And it was mentioned earlier, your pass for getting on the bus is your 600 forms, so be sure you have those forms. And if there's any questions, ask your agents, and your agents will pass those questions on to us. David, okay, you don't have a slide for that. Okay. Okay, one thing I wanted to also talk about was donors, and Congress is a very costly trip. I know that counties pay for the delegates, and there's a charge to the delegates, or the counties get sponsorship. So that's one place that there's sponsorship. And then we provide the bus. There's a fee for that, but it does not cover the whole cost of the bus. So we get sponsorship to help us pay for the buses. And every year they get more and more and more expensive. So I wanted to mention some of those sponsors. We've got a lot from the southern part of the region. River Valley Ag Credit, the East Tennessee Historical Society helps sponsor. Food City of Knoxville, the Tennessee Valley Fair, the Rotary Club of Cleveland, the Southeastern Farmers Cooperative, and Bradley County Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Services. All those organizations donate money to us to use for Congress. And while we're at Congress, we're going to take a little bit of time to do a special thank you for all those sponsors, and we hope that you're doing that in your county too, that you will make an effort to be sure and thank the people who sponsor you to come to Congress. So now I'm finished, David.
Thank you. I think we're going to bring back Mitch Beatty.
Yeah.
Has left the building. So Mitch, can you hold on to this thing here?
I can. We're ready to talk a little bit about History Bowl. And we had 9 folks that we're considering to be finalists that participated in their online History Bowl. This was open to everyone, but we appreciate the job that they did. And we have 8 finalists and 1 alternate, and we will be having our finals tomorrow. And so that will be taking place here, and all of our finalists have been told of that, and we tried to find the best day. And of course, with the weather the way it was kind of hard to find a great day. But we think most of our folks are going to be able to be here tomorrow so we can have a History Bowl. Of course, History Bowl is one of the great things that we have at Congress, and usually our Eastern Region delegates do really well. History Bowl kids do really well because of the Clover Bowl. They've been in Clover Bowl and all that kind of stuff. So we've kind of been on a drought. I don't know how many years. How many years has it been now since we've had a History Bowl winner? I mean, Miss Linda's sitting over there, and she can't even remember back that far. So, so what we're going to do is we'll have our contest tomorrow, and we're going to kind of give some of their folks a little bit, some pointers and that sort of thing. Hopefully we'll be able to get them kind of all studied up, and they'll have a chance to go down there and represent the region with great, hopefully success. We'll have awards for those tomorrow and all that as well. We're kind of looking to see, we might put that on Periscope or something like that, just kind of be looking for any of those folks that might want to be doing that. It is election day, not really a whole lot going on in the big world of things. So History Bowl might be the biggest news story of the day. So anyway, we'll look forward to having those, and you'll see those. They're listed there. Abby Ferguson from Claiborne County, Maria Hudson from Knox County, Lydia McCurdy from Knox County, Catherine Philholter from Loudon, Isaac Brown from Polk, and Drew Rogers from Polk, Morgan Short from Southern County, Charlie Hamilton from Union County, and then our alternate is Sage Bambury from Knox County. And Sage, if I was you, I'd be here, and might have a chance to participate as well. So we look forward to having those here tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and we'll see how it works out. So congratulations to our History Bowl finalists. Oh, well, let me tell you one more thing, because we talked about our essay winner. The 2 winners of this History Bowl will have, they have their trip will be sponsored just like our essay. So your trip will be paid for courtesy of the Eastern Region office. So you may already have worked out some of those details and all that kind of stuff now. but one way or the other, that region will pick up the tab for your trip down there. So you may be helping your county, you may be helping yourself, depending on. So it's a pretty good scholarship to get that completely paid. So so anyway, we look forward to that, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout there tomorrow.
Well, we've got this in there right now.
What about our
It's next.
questions? Or about our fashion show?
After the questions.
Oh,
See what
okay.
they've got coming up with right now.
Okay. All right then. Questions that you may have, and are we going to run those through the chat?
Yes.
Okay, we'll run that through the chat, and we will. So if you have questions, and we'll take your questions, and we will put it through our fine group of knowledgeable people here that know just about everything there is to know about Congress, one way or the other.
Mitch, we needed a clarification on the stickers for the eggs. It's just small stickers that would fit in a egg.
Right, and these would be stickers that young people may like. If you've got small children and you go to Kroger's and they have stickers at the cash out place, they like little stickers. So if you can find stickers that would fit in a small egg, would be the key. That just would be sort of a prize for whoever finds that egg. So it'd be something like that.
All right, next question. Bow ties for men, are they acceptable?
Bow ties for men, are they acceptable? And I'm looking at my judges, and ding, 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 bow ties are acceptable. Actually, I knew the answer to that, but bow ties are acceptable. Justin Cross, that's all he wears over here. So I don't know how we can.
Overwhelming, yay!
Get an overwhelming yes for bow ties.
All right, next question. What color slacks for ladies?
What color slacks for ladies? I know the answer to this, but I'm going to let somebody else answer this. That just to give them a chance. So, what color slacks for ladies?
Khaki, beige, navy, black.
Yes.
Repeat those for them.
We got khaki, we've got beige, we got navy, we got black. All those would go well with the Congress sweater.
Gray would probably work.
Gray would probably work okay.
Brown would work.
Brown would work.
Okay. All right, next question. Can the gifts for reps, so I assume that's the legislators, be homemade baked goods?
Can the gifts for reps and the I guess your state representatives or state senators, can they be homemade baked goods? And I'm just looking around the room on this one. Let's see. Let's check this one out.
What it tastes like. As long as it tastes good.
The question was, what do they taste like? I guess that
It needs to be proper, very food safety conscious in wrapping it.
Presentation.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and some of those kind of things might be okay. Presentation needs to be good. They need to be safe. But last thing we want to do is poison a senator. Get a little going there that wouldn't work. That would be bad. That would be bad for 4-H probably.
We have given them preserves and things like that. So
Yeah, something like
the biggest thing is the presentation.
Yeah,
Well,
that
if
sort of thing.
they're preserves, you certainly don't want to take anything that's been home canned because you don't know unless you particularly know how it's
The
done.
last time I went was like 12 years ago.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
I mean, that is just something unless we know it's done the right way.
It needs to be done really, really nice if that's the case.
I would want something that they can keep that says 4-H.
Right. Something they can keep that says 4-H probably is better.
All right, next question. When do they receive the itinerary?
When do they receive the itinerary, which, in 4-H we call a schedule. And you will receive that in your packet on when you arrive. If you would like to see the schedule so you can plan it, it is online. It is now online. So you can go
Congress website.
to the Tennessee 4-H Congress website and Google Tennessee 4-H and go over to activities and go down to Tennessee or to State 4-H Congress, and down in the highlights it will have, I think it's listed as Congress Highlights is what it's called, and it'll pop up the schedule.
They will receive a printed itinerary, exact times, dress codes for that event, and the room number and location when they get off the bus and they check in at the regional registration table.
Yeah, have a really nice schedule that you will receive, itinerary, whatever you want to call it. It will be in your Congress packet as soon as you get off the bus, or as soon as you're registered you'll go through the region office and they will process you, and you will have that information with you. So from the time that you need to know, you will have that Congress schedule. We have more of a problem with people reading it than we have with people not getting it.
Mitch, the two things that they will get besides that packet is also their sweater. They may or may not be able to get their room keys at that exact time. So
Yeah, we didn't mention that, so.
Yeah, and I'm assuming everybody can hear. Can they hear? You think?
should that speaker's go?
Should do. So you will be getting your sweater, room keys to get in. That we don't know that. That's something that the hotel deals with, and so that may work out fine.
Your
It may
room
take a
may
while.
not be available.
Your room may not be available for a while.
Probably will not.
Probably will not.
But there is a place designated for everyone to go in the ballroom, so that's not an issue. You have a place to go, plenty of room, place to store your luggage until we do get those. But we'll go ahead and give you that itinerary and schedule and your sweater. And then if the room key is not available for you, then as soon as we get it, we'll call you in by your room groups and have them come and pick that up.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
The next question is, what about swimming in the pool at the hotel?
Swimming in the pool at the hotel. The old swimming in the pool at the hotel.
Very limited.
There's no time.
There's no time to do that. So there won't be probably any chance to do that.
Okay. And Jenny says the schedule online is not yet correct.
Schedule online is not yet correct. As if we needed.
Okay, Justin says they just finalized this.
They just finalized at our state council meeting last weekend. So probably over the next week or so, just check back and we'll know. Hopefully they'll put on there, this is the absolute final schedule. Okay. Other questions? Oh, we had a question from the agents. Wanted to know who was going to handle elections.
Kathy and
So
Greg.
Kathy and Greg will handle that. So, okay. All right, good deal.
We have a question from in here.
Question from in here.
Lanyards being worn at all time?
Lanyards.
Name tag?
Yes.
Yeah.
name tag.
Name tags will be worn at all time,
Except when you go to Nashville.
except when you go into Nashville.
Take them off and put them in their pocket or their pack.
Get in their pocket or pack.
Yeah, repeat that so they.
So, name tags will be worn at all times, except when you are in Nashville. You're going during that visitation that afternoon. We just don't want people that are going to be seeing you just down there just to be able to call you by name. So you'll take them off then. You're on your way to the General Jackson. You're going down to eat down on down on the strip on Broadway or what have you. One of the registers, one of those great eatery places. You'll take them off at that time. But other than that, you'll have your name tags on, and you will have them on even when you're going. I'm assuming when we go to our legislative visit, because we want our our senators and our congressmen to be able to call you by name. So and they look good. Everybody looks good in their name tag, so they're cool. Cool to wear your name tag. But we do want to have that, and there's 2 or 3 reasons for that. Number one, we know everybody. We can call them. It's easy. The second thing is if somebody doesn't have a name tag, that's an obvious red flag. And obviously, if they're wearing a Congress sweater and a skirt or a pair of pants, and we go, well, that's probably a 4-H'er that's left their name tag. If this is an adult leader or something, then we may say, what are they doing here? And so that's kind of a security issue for us. So it works 2 or 3 different ways.
Normally what we do when they go is, because a lot of them want to put their money in that because it has pockets and stuff, is just turn their name, the paper part that has their name in it backwards.
Yeah. So we can always do that as well. So those are if you've been to camp, a lot of times you'll see these neck wallets that we use, and those are handy, real handy. They've got pockets in there, a place to put money, to your schedule, some other things. So a lot of times, even if you go out on the town, you just flip those around where we don't see your name. So you can do it that way. Okay.
If someone wanted to see the speeches, is that allowed?
That's a good question. And I've had that question since I don't know the answer to that, but since it's moved to a different locale, is that still okay for parents to come and see speeches? Well, speeches, it's not a problem. Speeches are not a problem. What about the pageant at the hotel?
It's the speech.
Speeches, there will be room because it'll be at the.
I think so.
Because it'll be at Avon Williams, and it'll be in a big room.
That's in a big room.
And that has never been turned away, that their parents couldn't come to that. So if there's a question about speeches, if you're a parent, or if you've got a parent that's wanting to come to hear the speeches on that Monday morning, that is perfectly okay. Awards for that will be on Monday night, and it will be back in the hotel. Again, I'm not sure. Do we know, is there any rule? I haven't been down there last year, so what was the rule on parents coming to the pageant or coming to that awards program at the hotel?
The room's pretty full, so I don't know if there is such a.
Tell you what we'll do. We're just not sure on that, and that's been something that we've known the answer to for years and years when it was in a different venue. We'll try to find out the answer to that, and we'll send that out to all the counties that if you have, since we, at least to those parents or to the counties that have winners, to the winners, so that they'll know whether they come to the pageant or come to the awards program on Monday night. Questions again?
Remind them to send them through the chat box in Zoom. Not see anything more?
Looks like we're good.
Let's play the video, and then we'll see if there's another one that generates before we can let the 4-H'ers release and then meet with the.
Oh, got a question.
During Know Your Government, will the representatives get to use the voting process?
We do not know what the process they will use for representatives. It will not be the machines. So it's going to be a hand or a paper ballot, but I do not know. Justin, in that discussion, do you know that?
And we have went to the Know Your Government specialist and to the state council president, and neither one seems to know. So I don't know either. So we don't know that. Now I think some of those are going to be some issues that will probably be hashed out when we get between now and then.
What I can say on the Senate side, there's a large number of senators. We're only going to use 3 bills, but the time is limited. But I will let every senator at least vote on 1 bill. It may be a bill other than those 3 in those Senate chairs where they can use the machine. So every senator will get that option.
Senators in good shape. You'll get to use the machinery in the room. Okay.
All right.
Another
next question. Is there a fridge and microwave in the room?
I have not. There is.
This is an embassy suites. They are all suite.
Yes, it is a suite. These are suite rooms, guys. There is a refrigerator and a microwave. Micro fridge kind of deal will be in those rooms.
Micro fridge. Yeah.
A micro fridge, kind of a small fridge. And a microwave. So, small fridge.
Small refrigerator.
And a bathroom.
And a bathroom. And a bathroom as well.
Yeah, showers work well.
Showers. All those kinds of things.
4 people in the room, so you have to plan your shower.
Yeah, all those kind of things. Questions again?
All right, I'm gonna go find the.
We have a very special treat for you. The Eastern Region All-Stars have been working diligently, and normally if this was a Congress Readiness Day event that was held down at Lenore City, they would be giving you a once-in-a-lifetime fashion experience called the What Not to Wear Fashion Show. Since that did not happen due to the blizzard of 2016, here is their video version of this. I don't know if can we hear it? I'll go ahead and see.
All right, you ready?
McGinnis, and today I will be emceeing from the Eastern Region Conference here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I want to take you through the many outfit selections you will have during the 69 days.
Do what, Nate?
Start it over again. I think it'll work better.
Hello, I'm Matt McGinnis, and today I will be emceeing Readiness Day practice show from the Eastern Region Conference here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I want to take you through the many outfit selections you will have during the 69 days. Remember, the days are long and the night is short. When you get up in the morning, you don't want to go in the same clothes trying to figure out what to wear. You definitely want to figure out how to get on. So your time in Congress will be packaged and coming. Right now, we have the Eastern Region Conference here to help decide what to put on with the This is Morning Congress, what to wear, what to do. This is when you arrive in our business center. Go on with general jacket. And as you check out on your way home.
The audio is really.
Here comes the Readiness for These two.
All right. So,
Or if you can share it on your, that's what you got up there, isn't it?
that's what I got.
Yeah.
Remember, I had to turn it off. All right.
No audio would be preferable. Sorry, Matt.
All right, let me stop the share in a minute. Let me play it on this side over here. I had to turn the volume off that. I have to turn this one on.
Yeah.
All right.
If you share that.
All right, let me start it again.
David.
Can't understand anything here.
Look at the kids on there.
I can't wait to get into Congress.
Hello, I'm Matt McGinnis, and today I'll be emceeing Congress Readiness Day practice show from the Eastern Region Conference here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I want to take you through the many outfit selections you will have during the 69 days.
Thanks. Sorry to complain.
Remember,
It worked the other day. Charles has probably put some sort of.
Let's just blame it on Charles. How's that?
All right, let's see what can I do here.
hello, I'm Matt McGinnis, and today
They hid their microphone. I mean, their camera. That's funny. Yeah.
All right, now
That's hilarious.
I've got it there.
Yes.
We went through this like 50 times and then I'll get you an idea.
If I do zoom, if I do it there.
On the screen, on that, on your second screen there.
Well, I'm going to try to share it on desktop one and see if that'll make a difference.
Away from audio on the screen and have you live narrative?
Oh my gosh, I could, probably.
Yeah.
hello, I'm Matt McGinnis, and today I'll be emceeing Readiness Day practice show from the Eastern Region Conference here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I want to take you through the many outfit selections you will have during the 69 days.
Not good. No, not any better.
All right.
Nope.
Well, I just
It had good stuff on it too, man.
turn the audio off. Can they see the video part?
Yeah, they can see the video part great.
Just narrate it.
I don't.
Let birds narrate.
Will it work? Well, look, guys, I'm going to narrate this. I hate to, in deference to Matt McGinnis, who's one of the great fashion show narrators of all time. But anyway, this is casual, and you're not supposed to do this. And this is Brienne and Ethan, and, you know, this is just not casual. I mean, it's just probably a little too casual, and got the boots and sock feet and, you know, coveralls and all that stuff. Now, here's casual pretty good. This is not bad. You got Summer and Charles here, and Pierce that they're okay. Got the shorts the right length and jeans, and you know everything looks okay and looks nice and clean and appropriate and all those good things. Yeah, no hat on sideways. If this was a name tag situation, you probably need to have a name tag on, but this may not be. If you go into the dance, here's some things not to do. You got the dance. You got this. These two right here, and they've got profanity written and vulgarities and alcohol and drugs and cigarette stuff on and everything. So don't do that. Don't do that. That'd be bad. Now here's the dance, and you can see a couple folks here that kind of look good for the dance. Paul's sort of getting ready for the, you know, some real good country music, and Jamie, she just looks like she could do whatever she needs to do at the dance. Have a good time. She's still dancing already. All right. And there's Matt, and he's going to have a word from our sponsor, which is the All-Star Conference video, and dum-dum-da-dum, dum-da-dum. As you can see, it's a great video. Some of you have seen this. One of the things we want to point out is that All-Star Conference is coming up like a week and a half after Congress. So you can see here these Congress council people getting excited, and there's Christian killing himself, and there's cameo by me. All right, get spinning that basketball. And they're saying something about the Olympics at All-Star Conference, and they don't want to miss it. And then they're going to be this really cool logo that's going to pop up right here at the end. So anyway, that's All-Star Conference, and you'll get more information about that. And hey, back to our what not to wear fashion show. And what it's called actually, what to wear. I like the way they go. Oh, here we go. We're going to a semi-formal. This you don't do at the banquet. And you can see Paul and Brienne's kind of got some stuff going there. Brienne's got a monkey on her shoulder and monkey on her back. She doesn't anymore. She's got a top hat. Got the old sunglasses going there. Maybe look too cool. That's just not what you want to do at the banquet. Don't want to run into a sponsor or something looking like that. Then you've got Charles Weber right here. And you're going to, Charles like 007 right here in the middle of the screen. And he's ready for whoever he could have there. And he has two young ladies here. Jamie is in a formal outfit on the right. Summer's in sort of more of a church going or a non-formal top dress, but still looks very appropriate. They all look very nice and very dapper. And what else can you say about that? I'm sure Matt's saying some more things. I can see his lips moving back there. And then Charles gets left by the two lovely young ladies. Now, we did hear about official dress. Here is the official dress code right here. So we're going to start out with what you shouldn't do, and Matt's talking a whole lot about it, and in will come Paul, and I think this is Summer, and look at this. They've got on all their stuff. All this is official. It's just not in the right place. Sweaters, not really good. Around the hats, not so good. Cell phones, not good. Selfie stick, not good. And name tags, Not good. Not good with the name tags. And now they're going to take a selfie with Matt. Yay. Okay. All right. Now this is what to do. And you can see Charles coming in with his green sweater and dress pants, ties. Looks really good. Collared shirt. Looks good. Very well done. And then Jamie will come in, and she looks great with her Congress sweater, the shirt, and then the match. Got a really nice matching skirt there that's plenty long enough. And she looks really good. She looks like she's modeled before. Very good. And then she's saying that these shoes probably don't need to be, you need to have real comfortable shoes, be doing a lot of walking. That's what she's saying. Oh, and they're going to walk into the screen and show their name tags, which are in good place and easy to be seen. Thumbs up. Good job, guys. And here they're all going to say, keep it classy, made possible by some guy who's not in charge of audio. And they're going to come in and take a selfie that says, keep it classy, Eastern Region. And there you have your no sound, what not to wear fashion show video, which, by the way, is for sale. We'll sell those to you. One for $10.
Audio version is available, right?
Yeah, one for $10, and we got a special 4 for $40. Okay. So anyway.
All right, we have another question.
We can put it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It'll be on. We'll put it up so they can see it.
We have another question.
Oh, we got another question. All right. I'm doing pretty decent on these
I
questions.
gotta find it first, though. Past all the,
How was the fashion show? Was it good? Raise the roof? Woo, woo.
I saw a smirk on Hillary's face.
Hillary's like, okay, I'm happy.
Big room is happy.
Big room's happy. Woo, woo.
All right, here's the question.
Okay, hold on here. Now what's happening? Oh. Press 5 to enlarge the image. All right, what are the questions?
All right, this says, what size beds will the 4-Hers be in?
The beds, these are sort of like really, probably they're going to be queen size beds, I think, if I remember right.
I hope so.
Queen size beds is what we're hoping for, at least queen or king or something like that.
And are there 4 people in a room?
There are 4 people in a room, that is correct.
4 youth?
4 youth.
2 people for adults?
And 2 adults. In adult rooms, there'll be 2 people. Youth, there'll be 4.
You said the video is on YouTube.
We will send the video link out to everybody a little bit later tonight. We thought we had that working the other day. This stuff is just real complicated.
And then we had a question about leggings. We said no leggings.
No leggings or leggings, either one. Or chickens, Rhode Island Reds, none of those either are allowed at Congress.
All right, that's all the questions we have now.
Foghorn Leghorn. Okay, I believe this is going to go back to our housing folks.
Kids will be excused now. We can, you could let them go, Glenn.
Not wanting to get a final.
Any final questions from the kids?
Final questions from delegates for Congress. Be sure and send those in text chat. We just wanted to visit with our volunteer leaders for a few minutes as well. So Amy and myself are going to lead that discussion, and we just appreciate our volunteer leaders being willing to go to Congress and help us have a good experience. We appreciate you as agents, and certainly our regional staff appreciate you. We couldn't have Congress without your involvement. So we wanted to just spend a minute or two and just kind of talk through some of those expectations and reminders of what we expect from our leaders. Something I don't think is on the screen, and I'm sure your agent's already taken you through and screened you through the child protection issues. That's something that needs to happen. If you have not had that screening through your agent, you need to double check with them and make sure that happens prior to you going. You really need to deal with that now, because that's some instances to get you through that screening is a couple of weeks process. So make sure that happens. Your agent should probably have already taken care of that, but we want to make sure that's taken care of so everybody's in good fashion and safe with that. So if we could go to our next slide. Just talk about our expectations. Basically, for sure, safety and security is a priority at any 4-H event. So you have a role in that, leaders. You're a source of information. You may not know every answer, but you will have some resources around you where you can go and get those answers to those questions. You are an authority, and you are an authority figure to the delegates. And in that role, we also want to make sure that you are a good role model. So certainly those things that we've already discussed about behavior and so forth, you need to model that behavior for our delegates.
Now, when you are getting ready to go to Congress, as far as what we are expecting of you as a leader, the Tennessee 4-H website for 4-H Congress has lots and lots of information. Be sure that you check into the Congress website and study the information that you're going to find there. You will probably find the answers to most of the questions that you might be having as far as schedule and what's going to be taking place when, those kinds of things, by checking the 4-H Congress website. A big role that you're going to have is preparing for the legislative visit that's been arranged for both you and the delegates from your county. Your agent has probably already set that up and talked with you a little bit about that. Be sure that you know what time you need to be there, what time you need to be in whose office, and try to make sure that you're there early. You're going to want to make sure that your kids know where to find you on Monday, the day that you're making those visits, so that you all can all be together and make it to the offices of your legislators at the proper time. Of course, attend Congress Readiness Day. That's what we're doing. We're so glad that you're joining us today. While you're at Congress, we need you to be sure that you attend meetings both at the state and regional level. Some of you will have some assignments at the state level as far as some responsibilities that you may have while you're at Congress, perhaps helping with an election or perhaps helping hand out programs, those kinds of things. They will be asking you, sending you a letter telling you where you need to be to find out about those assignments. So be sure that you check over those things and make sure you know when you need to be there to check into those meetings. Know your assignments in advance. Be where you're supposed to be on time. And then again, of course, serve as a good role model for our delegates.
Specifically, you'll have some kids that you'll be assigned to just check rooms nightly. And Amy and myself will be meeting with you, and we'll give you those roles and give you a set of rooms to check. It may or may not be, maybe kids from your own county, and then in addition, you may have some others from other counties as well. So you'll just get that information, and you want to check and make sure those folks are in their rooms, they meet the curfew, and then we'll have a procedure where you'll come back and share that information with Amy and myself to make sure that we know the kids are accounted for and they're in good shape. And then Amy and myself, our responsibility will be just through the night to make sure that they're where they're supposed to be in those rooms. Another role you'll have in the morning is just getting them up, making sure they're out and plenty of time to get to that breakfast or get to that bus on Monday morning and also on Wednesday morning. So just making sure they're where they need to be. So you'll have that as a specific role that while they're in the hotel and getting them up and getting them out and getting them where they need to be at night. Encourage you to just deal with your young people and your delegates and get to know them and be involved in conversations with them. That's certainly a good experience for them as they relate to the adults that are there. Just be aware of the security issues at the Capitol. We've already dealt with that a great deal as you go through those security procedures. Just be aware of that. And if you've got some things that you know are going to be set those machines off, just probably leave those things behind. Carry as little as possible, and certainly don't carry your weapons to the Capitol, and just take care of that. Again, in relation to your visits, your legislative visits, your agents will check with you and help arrange that and make sure that those meetings, you know where you're to meet them and get your delegates there, and make sure all of that is in good fashion so our 4-H members can make a good positive impression with our legislators. And then certainly we want to make sure we get a photo op with them, because that's good when you get back to your county. You need to be in those sessions, and you need to, follow the dress code as has already been spelled out very well. That just be in those sessions for volunteers. There may be some meals that are specifically related to volunteers, and there'll be some meetings that are specifically related to volunteers, and so you can understand your role.
All right, back to dress code. We keep talking about that because it is important. We are representing 4-H, and not just the kids are, but we are also representing 4-H when we are with them in their Congress sweaters and those kinds of things. Whenever we are doing official Congress activity, jeans are not acceptable. Whenever the program says official Congress dress, we need to be dressed appropriately, just like the kids do. The Congress sweaters for the kids are to be worn for all sessions with the exception of Tuesday night at the dance and at the banquet. You may have 4-Hers who try to slide by the rules on some of these, and we want to ask you as volunteers to help us be the eyes in the halls and on the elevators. And if you see someone who is not dressed as they need to be for an assembly, call them on it, send them back to their room and tell them that they need to be dressed like they are expected to be dressed. And remind them that they are representing 4-H. Name tags, of course, should be worn for all the sessions, and we've talked about that a little bit already, but you can also help us take care of that. All right, on Sunday, some of the big duties that our volunteer leaders will be responsible for. You will be helping us as far as getting the kids checked in whenever we meet the buses at all the different stops along the way. Some of you will be assigned to make sure that the kids, when they get on the bus, have their 600A forms, have the things that they need. You will be responsible for checking them in and making sure that they're there. You will be helping us whenever the bus arrives at the hotel as far as maintaining order and getting the luggage and those kinds of things organized as the kids take their luggage and go find their resting spot there at the hotel while we're waiting on rooms and Congress sweaters and all those other good things. You will need to wait with your delegates until your rooms are ready, and I cannot remind you enough that they probably will not be ready when we get there that afternoon. There will be some waiting time. The hotel has to clean all of the rooms from the night before, and some of them will not be ready when we arrive. So be patient. Come up with a way to pass the time. You may want to stick a book in your luggage or something to help you pass the time, and just help the kids remember patience, patience, patience.
I think one other thing that wasn't on there on Sunday, if you have a delegate that's selected to be in the legislative with a speaking part, or maybe leading a pledge on Sunday afternoon when we first arrive, some of those meetings will take place. So that might be a reminder for some of your delegates that they've got a meeting to go to, and so they're ready and prepared for that. Monday, basically, we're going to get up early and get on the bus and go to Nashville. That's going to be our legislative time. Our speaking winners are going to speak, and our winners with portfolios will be in their competition. There is no scheduled dinner time that evening, and that's the opportunity that you have to go to a restaurant in Nashville. We, again, encourage you to go in groups. You might visit with your agent about this. They may have some ideas of appropriate places for your delegates to go, and you might get some county groups together. We've got some county groups that do not necessarily have a leader. We want to make sure they get with a group. And then remember, we're going in groups because this will be in downtown Nashville. This will be after our legislative visit. It says here we're going to get back on the bus at 7, but I think we've alluded to other places in the schedule earlier that may be actually 6:30. So we want to make note of that. And again, we'll get our final schedule and itinerary there, and you'll be reminded of that regularly. Don't want to leave anybody in Nashville. Get back on that bus. Tuesday is going to be our election process, and we'll need some leaders to help facilitate that election process. Again, there'll be a meeting or two to walk through that. We're going to be getting on the buses and going to the General Jackson. Leaders' roles would be making sure everybody's there, getting our bus counts, and make sure we're ready to do that. That will be an enjoyable excursion as we go down the Cumberland River, and we'll have lunch and we'll walk together as a group. And certainly if we have anybody with any special needs, we need to make sure that we're, I think, aware of that for both young people and our adult volunteers if there's some special needs related to making that excursion and also just visiting the Capitol. Make us aware of that and just help facilitate that. The banquet that evening, just helping make sure it's ready to go. There may be some volunteers asked to help with some decoration and certainly chaperoning the dance following that evening.
All right, Wednesday morning, I will tell you that we will all be tired, very tired, but we still have to get up and get out early. You will need to double check, make sure that the delegates that you are assigned to are up and ready to be out and downstairs with their luggage ready to get on those buses to head back home. We'll have a little bit more information Monday night as far as where things are going to be needing to be placed, that kind of thing. But the main issues that we will have Wednesday morning is to be sure that your kids have their luggage, that they've not left things in the room. Be sure your kids are where they are supposed to be, when they are supposed to be there. Now, we have 3 different buses from our region that will be leaving Congress at about the same time. So you need to double check, make sure that your kids know which bus they need to be on, so that they do not end up going to Mountain City when they really need to be going to Chattanooga. Make sure that your kids that you're assigned to are on the bus when it pulls out. So you need to double check. We need to get head counts and make sure that everyone is accounted for before we leave Nashville that morning. All right, as far as your attendance at different events and activities, we want you to try to attend as many sessions as possible. This is not only an incredible learning experience for kids, but it can also be a great experience for you as an adult to find out more about how our government works, and we'd love for you to attend as many of the different sessions as possible. Not only will you learn things there, but it also helps us to keep up with the kids and make sure that the things that are supposed to be happening are happening, and that we don't have things that shouldn't be happening going on. We will make some exceptions as far as attending the sessions. If you have additional assignments that you've been given, please do the job that you are assigned. It takes a lot of volunteers to make an event as big as Congress happen, and we need everyone doing their part to make sure that everything runs smooth and that all of the things happen on time and so on. Again, remember that you are a role model. The kids are looking at you. You may not think that they want to know what you're doing or see what you're doing, but they do. They look at you as an example, and they see your behavior, and they will model the kinds of things that you are doing. Be on time for all the meetings, and make sure that your delegates are also on time.
Just a few additional tips as we wind up here. You know, if many of you may be going as a parent with your young people, but note that you will be in a room and your child as a delegate will be in another room with other delegates. So for sure, don't pack together, because that's going to be an issue for all of you. Bring comfortable clothes for the after hour times, and some snacks. Money for snacks would be appropriate, certainly. Within that schedule, you'll see basically, I think Monday evening is a meal on your own, and then your snacks, and then whatever you find for breakfast as we leave. But the days are long, the nights are short, so be ready for that. Get some sleep before you come. You'll have a great week and a great Congress experience, but just be prepared for that, because we need you to help us to be the eyes and the ears as we help our delegates have a good experience, and encourage you to get to know them and interact with them, and that will be a positive experience for all. And certainly just avoid situations that could lead for trouble for you or the young people that will be on our trip. So
one more thing, comfortable shoes. Wear comfortable shoes. You're going to be walking a lot.
And one other thing to mention is if they see issues or there are issues, they need to come to you And then, or to the region staff,
Yeah.
not the state 4-H office.
Right. So we will have our Eastern Region group, and we'll meet when we get there on Sunday evening. We'll talk through some of that, so you will know who the Eastern Region folks are. If there are issues or concerns that can't be dealt with, just with you're asking someone to follow the rules and keep up with what's going on. Certainly Amy and myself, and then the Eastern Region staff who you've already been introduced to, and you'll be reminded of who we all are again when we get there on Monday night. So certainly if you have a concern, bring it to us so we can go ahead and deal with that before it gets to be anything any bigger than that. I guess at this point, we would open the text chat if you have other questions from volunteer leader perspective or delegate perspective, if you're still there. But again, we want to say thank you. Events like this could not go on without good quality volunteer leaders who serve as role models and help us to have a good positive experience. So we appreciate you giving your time to help these young people have a good positive experience at 4-H Congress.
All right. Glenn, Amy, thank you very much. I'll help sort of monitor and moderate during our question time while Linda look at the chat box. And while she's dialing up to see if there's additional questions, one thing I would remind that does help us a bit on that Wednesday morning, when traditionally when we were downtown Nashville, it was get on the bus and there was just a very small amount of space that we could get on. And then you were having breakfast somewhere en route between the hotel and back here to your destination. We all will be eating there at the hotel that Wednesday morning, which the Embassy Suites does do a full breakfast. So it will be a full breakfast that everyone can have before we get on that bus. But I'll look over now and see if we have any questions coming in from Chet Tax Land around.
There was a question from a county, is there's going to be a meeting for the county reporters? And yes, there will be a meeting for the county reporters.
Yes, it appears. Question is there going to be a meeting for those county reporters? Because every county has assigned one to do that, and that is traditionally at Sunday evening. And since Justin confirmed that we do not have the exact itinerary for all those times, I can't tell you that time. I just know that those of you that would get a speaking part for Know Your Government for both the Senate and the House, that practice is going to assemble at 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon once we get there, and it will be in one of the rooms in the hotel. And we'll go through, if you get those letters, any of the parents or leaders that those delegates asked, said, we're still not sure what we do after we receive that. We'll go over that with them that Sunday afternoon.
And
Okay.
it would be a good thing if they have a speaking part, not to be the county reporter, because those meetings are at the same time.
That's one thing, agents that you're listening to and volunteer leaders, if we've turned up and they end up with one of these parts, and again, we'll mail those out shortly. If they have one of those, they really can't adequately do that and be the county reporter at the same time and be in all those places. So if that's an issue you find, you may want to check with Linda or I to help facilitate that. And that's talking about before we ever get to Nashville and Murfreesboro for this. We need to solve that issue in the beginning, because that's been an issue at times where that delegate ends up and needs to be at two places. And unfortunately, you can only be at one, not two. And we need them if we've given them an assigned part, particularly if they're a page or a clerk or a chaplain, because we only train those specific individuals to do those jobs. Others, Linda?
They want confirmation. Breakfast is at the hotel Wednesday morning before they leave on the bus.
Yes, confirm this is a yes. The breakfast for Wednesday morning we will have at the hotel. They're in their dining area before we go.
At this point, that is all the questions.
That is all the questions?
Still ready to take more.
We can take some more.
Okay, yeah, we're getting enough.
All right. Coming in.
Just waiting.
Ticker tape.
One last question. It says.
I hear it. And the question is,
How much money would you suggest the delegates bring?
all right, how much money do you need to bring, delegates? We know that evening meal on Monday in Nashville will not be rather inexpensive. It's going to be sit-down restaurants only that you would have available to. So I would, and remember when you're in that restaurant, you're going to have your entree, some kind of a beverage, and you want to provide for that gratuity and the sales tax. So you're in the $20 to $30 range as a minimum in downtown Nashville. And then there will be some times for some snacks that in case they didn't bring any, and because they're at the hotel, there will be two sources of opportunities, vending machines, and then there is the gift shop. That's a hotel. It's not open 24 hours a day, but it is open for a large period of time. As a region, our Loudoun County delegation is helping serve as host there on that Monday or the Sunday night, where we will have some refreshments for everyone that they are providing. Some of those are homemade goodies, some are out of the box, but I'm certainly that they will be well received. But I would think at least the $40, allowing for your meal and then a few snacks. Other questions?
All the questions for right now.
Any questions that arise or clarification from our group here at the Eastern Region office? All right. We had an objective and a goal to be completed by 7 p.m. I can't see the clock. How are we?
We're 5 minutes early.
5 minutes early.
That means you sing the song for 5 minutes.
Okay. I believe it is 7 o'clock.
Hillary says it's 6:56.
6:56. All right. We've got time for one more question. Otherwise, we're going to sign off and say thank you for everyone being part of this tonight, especially those of our agents that are going to be going to Congress. They, all but Jacob, has been right here with us. We appreciate your attempt to get here, and more than an attempt, you actually got here and did well and presented. We apologize for our audio on the what to wear and what not to wear. It worked perfect in practice. The visual worked, but
Worked in rehearsal.
rehearsal was fine. Of course, the one thing is the final version of this was not quite early. So we only got that this afternoon, so we didn't have a test on that specific one. But we will get you a URL. Mitch will send that to all the counties via email, and you'll have that on YouTube to where you can pull that up, and he can do that this evening. So any other announcements that we've missed? No questions.
No more questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Those that are going, we will see you in Nashville on either Saturday or Sunday in Murfreesboro. Both places, we hope to see you.
Are there concessions on the boat?
I don't think there are concessions, but on the boat is a meal with the refreshments and all that will be part of that experience. So I think that is one that you can be filled up with, both food and drink, without any money required. Any more? Linda's looking. I'm listening. Time is a moving. Another one? Oh, here comes another one.
Cost of the t-shirt.
Cost of t-shirt, they asked that in the other one.
Cost of the t-shirt, I'm assuming this is the 4-H t-shirts that the state 4-H office might be selling. We cannot answer that. So agents that are out there where that's being asked, we need to get that sent into the state office, or we can get Jenny to provide that. But we do not have that information with us tonight. So any further questions? Another one coming? All right. We're going to call it then. Good night. Good evening.
Good job. Good job.